students, next we are going to discuss about one more very important phylum, that is phylum Hemichordata. Here hemi and chordates, here two words can be in fact seen. See, so here hemi in fact refers to half, okay, so and chorda, okay, chorda refers to in fact notochord. So here they are generally referred to as half chordates. Okay, so the animals belonging to this phylum are having the notochord, which is in fact rudimentary. Here the word rudimentary means to say at very early stage. In the early stage we can find a rudimentary, remember the word structure, we call that as stomochord. See, this stomochord, in fact is similar to what we have, the notochord, right? So but we cannot say exactly that stomochord is almost same as notochord, definitely not. So it is just looks or similar to or similar in appearance to notochord. Okay, so this is one aspect. See, this notochord like structure, the stomochord as it is present, we can also call hemichordates as stomochordates. Alright, and in fact they can also be generally referred to as acorn worms because they look like worms. Alright, worms in worm like appearance. Fine, children. So further let me tell you, this stomochord in fact it's a hollow thickening which we can find with respect to buccal cavity of the worms belonging worm-like structures or the acorn worms or the hemichordates belonging to the phylum, okay, this phylum. So buccal cavity has a hollow thickening, we call that as stomochord, and remember that it just superficially, when I say superficially, only through its outward appearance it looks like in fact notochord. Not exactly, I have already told you, only superficially. By seeing that we can say it looks like notochord. That's why I have used the term superficially. Alright, students. So remember the introduction here, okay? So they are generally referred to as half chordates or stomochordates. Stomochordates because they have a notochord like structure or similar to notochord like structure called stomochord. Where it is present in the collar region. See, let me tell you for example, this is for example Belanoglossus, is an organism which belongs to the phylum Hemichordate. Okay, let me tell you that the body of these hemichordates is in fact divided into, we call this as proboscis. Okay, then we have this as the structure, okay, the center structure we call collar, and this is a very long trunk. Alright, so these are the three in fact divisions which we can find in the body of the hemichordates. What is this proboscis? Okay, see, proboscis is an extensible structure, extensible It is sucking structure. That means it helps in sucking. Alright. So to derive its nutrition, it sucks through proboscis. So this is the first structure. Okay. Then followed by proboscis. Okay, proboscis and the long trunk is in fact having in between a structure called collar. Okay, then we have the long trunk. At the tip of the long trunk, the anus is also present. Okay, so this is how. Okay, now I said the stomachoid generally is present in the collar region and few here also in the buccal cavity of proboscis. Okay, so let me tell you, these chordates, these hemichordates are, in fact, before included under chordates. Before, okay, very long time back, they were included under chordates. But presently, okay, we have exempted them from chordates. We have removed them from chordates, and now they are included under non-chordates. Okay, so these are few the introductory points you need to remember with respect to the phylum Hemichordata or Stomochordata or echinworms. Dear students, next let us move on to the general characteristics of hemichordates. Okay. First and foremost, let me tell you about the body organization. See, I have divided as such so that it becomes easy for you to understand. Okay, they have organ system level of body organization. The functions of the body is carried out with the help of organ system which they possess. See, their habitat is marine. Okay, they are regarded as the marine animals. Alright, they need the salt conditions. Okay, like sea. Okay, where they survive, where they dwell. Okay, so furthermore, let us discuss about the body wall. The body wall, these organisms, dear students, are triploblastic in nature. When I say triploblastic, already you know, okay, they possess all the three layers. See, the outer ectoderm germ layer and middle mesoderm germ layer, okay, then followed by the inner endoderm germ layer. All the three layers are very well developed. From these primary germ layers or the body walls, all the other tissues and organs of the body are formed. Okay, this is with respect to their body wall. And coming to body symmetry. See, these organisms have, okay, so bilateral symmetry. So remember, their body can be divided into two equal halves from the plane passing through the center. Okay, see, as the structure itself you can just observe. Okay, so they have, okay, this is the proboscis, this is the collar, okay, and then they have these long trunk like structures. Okay, so exactly from the plane passing through the center, these worms can be divided into, in fact, two equal halves. Okay, alright, fine. Dear students, okay, this is the basic aspect. When we go to the body, okay, their body is generally cylindrical in shape. As you can observe here, see, it is cylindrical in shape, and their body is divided into proboscis, collar and long trunk, which I have already told you before itself. Okay, so here few important aspects what you need to remember is that proboscis which is present now. So this is a extensible, a stretchable organ, right? It's a sucking organ which is important for deriving the nutrition in these worms, right? The collar provides the attachment to the long trunk. In the long trunk, all the other important structures which are organs of these organisms are present. Okay, the tip of this long trunk, as I said they have what we can say the anus. So this is with respect to their body. Alright, coming to the digestive system. Their digestive system is complete. When I say they have complete digestive system, let me tell you that they have proboscis, the sucking organ from where the digestion starts, and it ends with the anus. That's where I am referring here to as the organisms having the complete digestive system. Alright. Further, moving on to their circulatory system. See, they have open type of circulatory system. See, they are chordate-like organisms. Okay, most of the chordates have the closed type of circulatory system. Okay, before it was included under chordates, but now it is excluded. It is removed from the chordates. Now it is a non-chordate, in fact. So here you can find open type of circulatory system. That means the blood flows in the body cavity freely, okay, and they are not provided with the arteries, the veins and the capillaries. Remember, okay. Coming to their respiration. Dear students, let me tell you that their respiration is with the help of the structures called gills. Below the collar region, in the long trunk, in the initial portion itself, we can find the gills which are responsible for the respiration process to occur. Their excretory system, okay, is provided with proboscis gland, okay, which is very important structure for the elimination of the metabolic waste, the nitrogenous waste, from the body. Okay, so this is the excretory system. Moving on to their reproduction. See, dear students, here sexes are separate. Alright, that means they are generally referred here to as what? Unisexual organisms or dioecious animals. See, male is separate and the female is separate here. Alright, and the reproduction which can be seen here is sexual reproduction. Alright, that means to say compulsorily the process of fertilization needs to occur. The male gamete, the sperm, and the female gamete, the ovum, has to come together, has to fuse to form the zygote, and zygote will develop into embryo, further into offspring. Okay, this is what we can say reproduction aspects. Coming to fertilization. Here the fertilization is external, remember. So that means as they are marine organisms surviving in the sea, okay. So there we can find that the fertilization is external. That means the fusion of the male and female gametes occur outside the female body. Alright, so we need to remember here. Okay, moving on to their in fact development as well. So here indirect development. That means they have to pass through the larval stages. So what is the larval stages which we can find here? It is generally called as Tornaria. The larval stage here, it is referred to as the Tornaria. Alright. So these aspects you need to remember, dear students, with respect to the in fact what we can say the phylum, in fact, which is in fact called as Stomochordata or Hemichordata. Alright, so examples, as I said you before, we can include here Belanoglossus. See, these Belanoglossus organisms are also called as acorn worms. Okay, acorn or tongue worms, because in fact they in fact look as such. Okay, so further other example also you can give here. Okay, Pterobranchia. Okay, one more example is what? Pterobranchia. So these organisms also belong to the phylum Hemichordata. Then next also you can give, for example, Graptolithina also you have. Okay, so fine. So these are few examples you can consider for the phylum. Okay, Hemichordata. Let me just revise. Okay, so it's I have divided and have made it for you to for easy for you people to understand. The organ system grade of organization is present. They are marine animals. All three body walls are present. Their body can be divided into two equal halves from the plane passing through the center. Body is cylindrical and divided into proboscis, collar and long trunk. Okay. Digestion starts with the proboscis and ends with anus. See, the blood does not flow in the arteries, veins and capillaries. It flows in the body cavity. Okay. So remember, okay, one more important aspect. Okay, let me just add up here itself. Okay, body cavity. So I said the blood flows in the body cavity. The body cavity is eucoelom. Okay, so they are eucoelomate animals. They have a true body cavity. So in this body cavity, the blood flows. The respiration is through the organs called gills. Excretion is through proboscis gland. So they have sexual type of reproduction, having the sexes as separate. External fertilization. Okay. Then development is through generally larva called as Tornaria. Examples I have given you. The best example, the well-known example which we can take into consideration here is Belanoglossus. Okay, acorn or tongue worm it is referred to as. Then we have Pterobranchia to go with Graptolithina. Okay, so these are the few important aspects pertaining to this phylum. Moving on to the next phylum, that is phylum Chordata. First of all, let me tell you, the animal kingdom in fact comprises of so many different phylums which we have studied earlier. But this phylum happens to be, a very important and major phylum in animal kingdom. Okay, the first aspect, and they are more advanced than the other phylums. Why am I using the term advanced here? Because when we compare these organisms belonging to the Chordata phylum, they have the characteristics which are much well developed when compared to the characteristics of the other phylums. Right? That's where I am using the term advanced. Let me also tell you that these organisms are having wide range. Okay, they can survive in various habitats. Okay, they can have different types of habits, or they can show different types of behavior. They have different body forms. Okay, then to go with that, even the body structure, when we compare, it is also quite different. Alright, so we can say, considering these aspects, they have wide range to survive. Now let us say, for example, when we compare the habitats of these organisms, definitely we can see them in the marine waters, fresh waters, okay, habitats. Alright, then we can say so this is aquatic. Alright, then further we can say they are adapted to terrestrial as well. They can be arboreal, that means they can survive on trees. Alright, like that, in most of the other habitats as well, in cold climatic regions, in the xerophytic conditions, that is the hot and humid conditions like deserts, they can survive. Like that, most of the habitats we can find the animals belonging to the phylum Chordata. Dear students, let me tell you that these animals have four outstanding, or we can say outstanding or fundamental characteristics which are very very important. That is, they have first as the notochord. Okay, we generally refer these to as chorda dorsalis. Okay, to go with that, they also possess nerve cord. Okay, then they have paired pharyngeal, gill slits. Then post-anal tail can also be present. So when I am saying these four characters, at any stage of their life history can possess these four characters. Okay, one is the notochord, second is nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits, and post-anal tail. So this is about the general introduction about the chordates. Dear students, before moving to the general characteristics of the phylum Chordata, let me explain you the fundamental characteristics. So I have already told you there are four important fundamental characteristics. Let us discuss each one of them. First, let us discuss about the notochord or the dorsa, chordalis. See, this notochord is the solid, rod-like structure. Okay, so very important structure which is present with respect to the chordates. So it is solid in nature and rod-like. Generally, it's a supporting structure which is present here. Okay, where it is present? It is present in the dorsal side of the body. Back side of the body, you can find this structure. This structure is derived from the embryonic layer, that is mesoderm. Alright. So let me tell you what are the important functions of this notochord. One, as I said you, it provides the support. Okay. To go with that, it is also important for muscle attachment. So this is about the first fundamental characteristic, that is the notochord. Next, let us move on to the nerve cord. So this is a hollow tubular structure. Where it is present? Again, it is also present in the dorsal side of the body. Alright, students, the back side. Let me tell you that this nerve cord, anterior portion of this nerve cord forms brain. That is, the topmost part forms the brain, and the lower part, the posterior part, what we say, forms the spinal cord. Alright, so this is also an important characteristic which we can find here. Remember, this is in fact formed from the germ layer called as ectoderm. Outer ectoderm helps in the formation of the nerve cord. As we all know that brain and spinal cord in the chordates are important for coordinating all the functions of the body. especially through impulses. Alright, any functions, let it be for that matter, the functioning of brain and spinal cord is highly essential with respect to this, the cortex. Thirdly, pharyngeal gill slits. See, first of all, let me tell you, they are paired. They are present in pairs, okay? They are paired and they can be present on the lateral sides of pharynx. From the word itself, you can understand. See, pharyngeal, okay? So, where we can find? In the pharynx, lateral sides, we can find these pharyngeal gill slits. So, in fact, let me tell you, they communicate to the external as well. When they communicate to external, in fact, they perform an important role. We refer that to as respiration. So, respiration is possible in the cortex because of the fundamental structure called as the pharyngeal gill slits. Okay, so these pharyngeal gill slits are derived from where we derive? From the endoderm. Remember, endoderm is the inner, primary germ layer. Alright, so this is about this, and also remember that in almost all the embryonic forms of cortex, these pharyngeal gill slits are present. Alright, but what happens? They are not present throughout the life. See, in case of lower cortex and also in aquatic cortex, right, or aquatic vertebrates belonging to this phylum, we can see that the pharyngeal gill slits, or we can also say pharyngeal gill clefts, present throughout their life. Alright, so note down these points. Fourth important fundamental character we have here is post-anal tail. See, this is present in almost all the cortex, that is, after the anus. A slender, structure, extended structure we call as the post-anal tail is present in almost all the cortex, but in few it is reduced. Okay, what we say, it is generally not extended beyond the anus in few of the adult cortex. So these are the important, the fundamental, outstanding characters which we can find with respect to the phylum Chordata. Let me repeat, they have a solid back supporting structure which is rod-like called as notochord or dorsal chordalis. Then they have hollow tubular structure from which the brain and the spinal cord, you can say the central nervous system arises. That is also present on the dorsal side of the body. Then pharyngeal gill slits, which is important for the respiration, having the openings, lateral openings in the case of pharynx. And then post-anal tail, which is present in almost all the cortex, absent in few or reduced in few, so which is just present after the anus. Remember, notochord is derived from the middle mesoderm primary germ layer. Nerve cord is derived from the, ectoderm, that is outer primary germ layer, and pharyngeal gill slits are derived from the inner, primary germ layer. Okay, so these are, the points to be noted before moving on to the other general characters of this phylum. Dear students, next moving on to the general characteristics here. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you that The fundamental characteristics we have discussed. Other than that, these general characteristics can also be seen with respect to the phylum Chordata. First, they have presence of ventral heart. Very important, with respect to their circulatory system. So, heart carries the blood to all the different parts of the body. In fact, pure blood, and from there again the impure blood, deoxygenated blood returns to the heart. Then it is oxygenated with the help of the lungs and sent back to the body again, like that. Okay, so this heart has in fact 4 chambers. Generally it can be 2 chambers, or it can be 3 chambers, or it can be 4 chambers. Let me tell you, as in the case of, next we are going to discuss, chondric ties and ostick ties. You can find 2 chambers. Those are the 2 classes. And the further 2 classes, let me say, the amphibians and reptiles, alright, will have 3 chambers, and apes and mammals will have 4 chamber heart to carry the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Okay. They have closed circulatory system. What do we mean by this? The blood is carried in the arteries, veins and capillaries, right? So furthermore, let us say that they also possess in the body fluid which is running through this circulatory system, the hemoglobin. So it is a red pigment which is generally regarded as, okay. So this is very important for carrying the oxygen and carbon dioxide, okay, in the body. Then further, they have hepatic portal system. So this system is very complex, okay. What is this actually? It's a type of venous system. So where veins carry the blood, in fact, it carries the blood from the capillaries of, it can be either stomach, it can be spleen, alright, it can be intestine, or even it can be pancreas. From these organs, the veins carry the blood. What type of blood? Deoxygenated. That means the impure blood, the blood which has carbon dioxide and other impurities in it. Okay, so where it carries, with the help of these veins, it carries the deoxygenated blood from stomach, spleen, intestine and pancreas to the important digestive organ called as liver. Okay, so there the blood is detoxified. All the impurities are removed, it is detoxified, it is made pure, okay, of the major impurities, and then it is again sent back to the heart, remember, alright. So this is what we call hepatic portal system. Once more I will repeat, it's a venous system. So the veins, carry the impure blood from the capillaries of stomach, spleen, intestine and pancreas and forward into liver for detoxification. After detoxification, the pure or the removed impurities, blood, is sent to the heart further. Okay. So further, they have, as I said, your liver is an important digestive gland. They have complete digestion, okay, generally. So we start from the mouth and ends with the anus. Alimentary canal has foregut, midgut and hindgut as the divisions. So anyway, so liver secretes bile juices and so many important salts, which is important for the digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, lipids as well, okay. And other than that, it also performs so many other important functions of synthesizing many proteins in the body and also providing heat to the body. Dear students, moving ahead, okay, their excretory system is provided with pair of kidneys. These kidneys are important for the elimination of the nitrogenous waste. Alright. Furthermore, let me also tell you that eyes in the case of invertebrates are derived from the skin. We have discussed so many invertebrate phylums: poriferans, coelentrates, the platyhelminthes, ascalminthes, annelids, mollusks, echinoderms, all these, where we can find that the eyes are derived from the skin in case of invertebrates. But in case of vertebrates, the eyes are derived from the brain. Remember that. It's a very important aspect you need to remember. Alright. So let me tell you, dear students, that the circulatory system is very well developed to go with even digestive system, excretory system as well. Now, we have talked about the respiration already in the fundamental features. So, it is provided with the pharyngeal gill slits, So, which helps in respiration. So, it can either, we can rather say the gills and the lungs are the important respiratory organs here. Okay, then excretion is through the kidneys. Alright. So, eyes are derived here in the case of vertebrates from the brain. Alright. So, liver is an important organ of digestion. Remember these few salient features of or the general characteristics of the phylum Chordata. Next, let us understand about the outline classification of phylum Chordata. In fact, when we understand this outline classification, let me tell you that it becomes easy for us to deal with respect to their subphylums or further divisions or superclass or classes in the coming classes very easily and with understanding. Alright. So let us discuss here the first phylum Chordata is divided into 3 subphylums. Those are, first we have Urochordata. To go with Urochordata, next we have Cephalochordata, and the last one we have is Vertebrata. Okay, so all these 3 are subphylums. Further, the subphylum, the Vertebrata is classified into 2 divisions. Those divisions are Agnatha and we have Gnathostomata. So these are the 2 divisions of the subphylum Vertebrata. Agnatha, here they lack jaws. Okay. And these gnathostomes or the Gnathostomata organisms possess jaws. Alright. Further, Agnatha division is classified into a class, a single class. Okay, we call that as Cyclostomata. So, as I already told you, they don't have jaws. These organisms does not have jaws. Okay, so this is the one. Alright. Then further, let us discuss about the next division, that is Gnathostomata, which is divided into 2 superclass. Alright. We can find 2 superclasses of Gnathostomata. One is Pisces, okay, we have, then second one we have is tetrapods. What are these pisces and tetrapods? They are the super classes. So what is the important feature here generally? Okay, the pisces they bear fins, okay, whereas the tetrapods bear limbs. Alright. Further, the superclass pisces is divided into two classes. Okay, so that is chondrichthyes, alright, and then osteichthyes. Alright, so these are two classes of the superclass pisces. Then tetrapods are again divided into, in fact, four classes. Okay, first is amphibia, then reptilia, then we have aves. Okay, we have amphibia, then we have here reptilia, then we have aves, and to go with the last one, mammalia. So these are, the four classes of the superclass tetrapods which bear limbs. So under pisces, which is a superclass, they have two classes, that is chondrichthyes and osteichthyes, that is cartilaginous fishes or bony fishes in general, what we refer them to as. Okay, so having fins. Okay, so this is the outline classification of the phylum Chordata. Let me repeat, Chordata is divided into three subphylums, that is Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata, and Vertebrata is further divided into two divisions, Agnatha having jaws, lacking jaws, and Gnathostomata possessing jaws. So Gnathostomata is further classified into two superclass, and Agnatha is divided into one class. Okay. So here Agnatha has a class called Cyclostomata, Gnathostomata has two super classes, that is pisces and tetrapods. Pisces bear fins, tetrapods bear limbs. So pisces are again classified into two classes, chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. Tetrapods are divided into four classes, amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammalia. All this let us discuss in the next class. Thank you very much.